What does it take for you to get a good night's sleep? Maybe you're the kind that needs an eye mask or earplugs to shut out the light and any sounds. Or maybe you feel like a vigorous workout makes you so tired you sleep through the night. I know I sleep best when I use my CPAP machine. Come to think of it, my wife sleeps best when I use my CPAP machine too, because then I don't snore. Of all the 10 commandments God gave us, He gave us more words and instruction about the one on deep rest than any other commandment. Does that surprise you? In Exodus 20, God tells Moses, "Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall do labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God." He goes on to say, "For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, but He rested on the seventh day." So what does this mean practically? Since God rested after His creation, we must also rest after our daily work of creation. When God rested, it wasn't because He was exhausted after creating. No, nothing like that. Every day, God stepped back from His creation and said, "It is good." And after 6 days, He stepped back, and at the dawn of the first Sabbath, He said, "It is very good." It's simply a way of assigning value to what He had done. And if God observed Sabbath, how much more do we need to? Overwork or underwork violates our God-given nature and tends to break us down. Sabbath rest is actually a way to enjoy and honor the goodness of God's creation and our own, to assign it value, and yet realize that our life doesn't revolve around how much we produce every day. Sabbath is there for us to celebrate our design and to make sure our work doesn't cross over into the boundary of our soul. And the Sabbath is tied to God's redemption. Deuteronomy 5:15 says, "Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that the Lord your God brought you out of there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore the Lord your God has commanded you to observe the Sabbath day." See, God uses the Sabbath day as a reenactment of our emancipation from slavery. It reminds us how He delivered His people from a condition in which they weren't treated as human beings, more like units of capacity in Pharaoh's brick production system. And each Sunday, we're reminded that Jesus has delivered us from a condition in which we were enslaved to sin. Sabbath is therefore a declaration of our freedom. Yeah, I sleep better with my CPAP, but you know what gives my soul deep rest? When I regularly worship the Lord with all of you each Sunday. I hope you'll join us for that this coming Sunday. It is, after all, the Lord's Day.